While some hostage families are expressing hope that the killing of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar could lead to a deal to bring their loved ones home, others are worried his death may have the opposite effect. NBC's Aaron McLaughlin just spoke with Rita Lifshitz, whose father-in-law is being held in Gaza.
If Sinwar is dead, we will not have 101 hostages back home now. I think he was the holder to keep them alive. And after every big leader, there is a worse leader.
Joining me now is John Spencer, West Point Chair of Urban Warfare Studies at the Modern War Institute. Thank you so much for joining us. I think you just heard the interview I did with the IDF spokesperson. What he described was nothing short of stunning and dramatic, that apparently Sinwar, others who were with him, opened fire on Israeli soldiers. They responded, including with a tank mortar shell. It hit the building, and then when they went in, there was no doubt, he said, or at least little doubt, they were able to pretty positively identify, even before sending out for obviously DNA and fingerprints, that it certainly looked like it could be Sinwar. I wonder what you make of what he said and the description he had of how this all went down in that densely populated urban setting, what was a densely populated urban setting in Gaza.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. It's just a fascinating aspect. I was in Khan Yunis this year. I was in central Gaza. The density of the cities in Gaza can't be miscounted. The sheer number of concrete, steel reinforced buildings that soldiers are moving down these streets, and could not only every step that they take, there could be a tunnel underneath them, but that they could take fire from any of thousands of windows. So these soldiers, regular soldiers, mind you, not special forces, a tank unit conducting an operation to find enemy caches, enemy locations, gets shot upon, and then very discriminately engages that target with a tank round, and then gets the number one of this massive death cult, and gives a chance for this war to come to an end. It's fascinating in the urban warfare, which we call combat in hell, but having been in Gaza, it's a unique type of hell. And like you said, the Israelis have moved as many civilians as humanly possible out of harm's way, and still moving through trying to systematically remove Hamas's capabilities and forces from Gaza.
The other thing we talked about is the idea that they believe he had been on the move, right? We had heard for at least a year that he was hiding in those tunnels. We know the difficulty, the complexity of, first of all, getting intel, right, and then trying to track someone down. What do you make of the fact that it sounds as if, at least according to the Israelis, he had been moving from the tunnels to some of those probably fortified buildings that you talk about, back and forth? What does that say to you?
I mean, it says that he was scared, of course, and there's rumors that this is also very close to where the awful scene of the 6 hostages that were brutally murdered, to include Hersh Goldberg Poland, an American citizen, this was close there. But it really shows the difficulty of finding and what they've been able to do. It took us 10 years to find Osama bin Laden because he escaped into Pakistan. The fact that they were able to contain him but continue operations despite the context in which this war has unfolded, and to keep him even within Gaza, where at times you could enter a tunnel in northern Gaza and come out in Rafah. They found long 2-mile tunnels going underneath the riverbeds that separate northern and southern Gaza. So a lot there on his inability actually to stay hidden and having to be staying there where he was hiding in areas where, the international community said, don't go to Rafah, don't go there. The fact that he was hiding there doing this, I think it's, and I listened to some of the prior commentaries, that this is the biggest chance for peace, because the actual butcher of Gaza, Yahya Sinwar, is dead. So the hurdle to returning the hostages home, the hurdles to improving the situation for the Palestinian people, one of the biggest hurdles, this man is now dead.
John Spencer, thank you very much. We do appreciate your expertise on this. We want to take a live look at